Last Friday has been talked about for over a decade, but Ice Cube and Mike Epps just gave fans the most concrete update yet. They confirmed the film is officially moving forward and that it will center on the gentrification of the neighborhood from the original trilogy. So the real question is not whether this movie is happening anymore. It is how Chris Tucker's Smokey actually fits into a story built around losing that neighborhood. Here is what we know for certain. Cube and Epps confirmed directly to Entertainment Tonight that gentrification is the core subject of this film. They also confirmed Tucker is in active talks to return, with Cube saying he believes Tucker is going to do it. That combination matters because Tucker has avoided this franchise for nearly 3 decades, and the timing of his potential return lining up with a story about the neighborhood disappearing is not something either man needed to mention together unless it actually connects. Now, think about Cube's own history with this project. He previously described an earlier rejected script where Craig and Day Day ended up in jail and eventually crossed paths with Smokey again in rehab. Universal and New Line pushed back on that version, but the core idea behind it survived. Cube kept trying to find a reason for Smokey to physically return to the story rather than just appear for a cameo. My theory is that gentrification is now that reason. I think Smokey's own place in the neighborhood being threatened is what finally pulls him back into Craig and Day Day's world after all these years. It is possible Tucker simply appears in a nostalgic reunion scene near the end of the film, without his return being tied to the main plot at all. Legacy sequels often bring characters back purely for fan service, rather than giving them real narrative purpose. But given how specifically Cube has spent years trying to write Smokey back into an actual storyline, rather than a cameo, I think a meaningful role tied to the gentrification plot is far more likely here. My prediction is that Smokey's business or hangout spot becomes one of the first casualties of the neighborhood's gentrification, giving him a direct reason to reunite with Craig and Day Day, instead of returning for a brief nostalgic moment. If Last Friday reveals Smokey's appearance with no real connection to the gentrification storyline, this theory does not hold up. Given how long Cube has pushed to give Smokey an actual purpose in this story, I think his return is going to matter far more than fans expect.